The redwood tree is one of the most resilient, mysterious, and life-giving organisms on our entire planet. To stand beneath one of these giants is an experience that's sure to spark true awe and wonder about the incredible world we live in. Out of the millions of species living on this earth, not a single one is as tall as the redwoods. But as striking and strong as these trees are, their numbers have dwindled over the years. And the thing is, these trees are incredibly resilient against just about everything. So it wasn't disease or bugs or even climate change that killed them off. It was us. The stories these trees could tell of time and life on Earth, both past and present, are countless. And I think we should try to hear them, because understanding these incredible giants is a means of protecting them. When we see how truly fantastic they are, and the critical role they play in our world, we can't help but feel the will to protect them. So let's sit for a bit and listen to the story that the redwood trees tell. On redwoods, the National Park Service writes, "Superlatives abound when a person tries to describe the old-growth redwoods, immense, ancient, stately, mysterious, powerful." Yet the trees were not designed for easy assimilation into language. Their existence speaks for themselves, not in words, but rather in a soft-toned voice of patience and endurance. What's most obvious, and probably most commonly known about the redwoods, is their massive size. Trees can grow up to 367 feet high and 22 feet wide. To understand the scale of this, picture a 35-story skyscraper. Like, that is huge. Holy moly. What blows my mind even more is that they can grow to this size from a seed that's literally no bigger than the seed of a tomato, which I think is just ridiculous because, I mean, at least you'd expect the seed to be the size of a full tomato, but no, it's literally the same size seed that a tomato can grow from. What's even more fascinating is that we don't actually know why they grow this tall. This is one of those stories that we have yet to uncover. Moving on, their age is just as grand as their size. Redwood trees regularly live up to 600 years old, and they can even survive to be older than 2,000 years. Think about this for a moment. That means that some redwood trees have been standing since the Renaissance period and medieval times in Europe. They're older than the United States of America, and they witnessed the American Revolution and the invention of iPhones in the same lifetime. Their ancestry runs deep in the fossil record too, with relatives living 160 million years ago during the Jurassic era. That's when the Stegosaurus and the Brontosaurus walked the earth. So, yeah, they've been around for, you could say, a while. Redwoods used to be much more widespread too. In fact, they were all over the world. In addition to the United States, redwoods also grew in what would later become parts of Europe, China, and Greenland. But today, they're limited to the Pacific Northwest, and this stretch, located in California and Oregon, is the only place in the world where they exist, because it's the only climate that remains favorable to them. Now, wait just a minute. Did I not say in the beginning of this video that climate change was not what killed them off? I did say that. So to clarify, in this video, we're talking about the population of redwoods that exist in the Pacific Northwest, because right now, like I said, this is the only place you can find them. I wanted to give you a little bit of context so you understand how old they are and where they came from, but the story that we are listening to today is of the Pacific Northwest redwood trees. So let's get on to it then, and talk about what makes these trees so incredibly special. What I found the most fascinating about the redwoods is how much they support life on Earth. From cleaning our air to supporting entire ecosystems, their impact is massive. First off, they benefit our world on a global scale. No other tree on Earth can remove as much carbon from the air as the redwood can. This makes them critical resources in our response to climate change and in keeping our air clean. But it's not just their impact on the air that makes them uniquely life-sustaining. Within the redwood forests themselves live thousands of species, many of which can't be found anywhere else. These range from thousands of species of insects like millipedes and butterflies, all the way to fluffy animals like the northern spotted owl, the wandering salamander, less fluffy, still cute, and Humboldt's flying squirrel. These trees support life from their roots all the way to their canopies, and whether it's for microorganisms, fungi, plants, or animals, they are the life force to entire ecosystems.
Something else that I found really cool is that we don't actually know a whole lot about what goes on in the redwood canopies. I mean, it's not exactly easy for scientists to just pop up there for a little bit, take a sample, and go about their day. In the last few decades, though, with improving equipment and techniques, we've been able to access the canopies better than ever before, and we have just started to uncover the enthralling mysteries of what goes on in them.
For example, we believe that the canopies themselves support entire ecosystems, and there are many animals that live their whole lives just in the treetops.
In fact, there is so much on this topic that I am planning to make an entire video on it, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. I'm starting to get way too cold.
Still, the tree's majesty goes beyond supporting life at its core. It's not just the scientific, biological, and ecological contributions that make the redwoods so special. There's also a psychological and spiritual aspect to them. If you've ever taken a walk in the woods and felt that grounded, peaceful feeling wash over you, you know what I'm talking about. Being out in nature has a whole host of benefits for our mental and spiritual health. It reduces stress, calms us, and can even inspire a sense of purpose in us. Forest bathing is a practice that originated in Japan in the 1980s. Essentially, it's taking a mindful walk in the woods, soaking in your surroundings, and getting in touch with nature. Studies have shown that forest bathing reduces anxiety, blood pressure, and overall stress levels. Put simply, it relaxes us.
But I believe that it goes beyond that.
There's a certain feeling of groundedness we get in forests, a feeling of peace that extends deeper than just soothing anxiety. To me, being in the forest helps me understand my place in the universe.
So now that we know what makes them so incredibly special and unique, let's talk about what has happened to these majestic, ancient trees over the last few centuries. To answer this question, let's go back to the early 18th century.
At this time, 2 million acres of redwood forest spanned across the coast. Indigenous people lived in harmony with the land for hundreds of years. But unfortunately, European American settlement in the coming years would alter the lives of these tribes and of the forest that they lived in.
The California gold rush of 1849 exploded the area's population, and these people needed to build houses. So what better choice than the strong, durable wood from the redwood tree?
As time went on, people moved in and technology improved. Logging accelerated even more until less than 5% of that original 2 million acres stands today.
Fortunately, though, all is not lost, because in 1918, in the midst of everyone getting all hyped up about building houses from the redwood trees, a group of concerned citizens saw the forest dwindling and banded together to save it.
Together, these citizens founded the organization Save the Redwoods League. Their mission? To bring the redwoods back from the brink of extinction. Today, the organization still works for this mission, and in addition to preserving the trees, they've also begun to conduct more and more research to unravel the magic behind them. Save the Redwoods League has had tremendous success in saving and preserving the redwoods, although there's still more to go.
We're not out of the woods yet in terms of saving the redwood trees. Get it? Anyway, but we have made some major progress.
This organization has helped to fund and to found over 60 parks dedicated to preserving the redwoods there. If they hadn't been there, it's very possible that that land would have been used for other human development, and those trees would be no more.
And I think that the more people know about their unique, life-giving existence, the more they'll be motivated to protect the redwood trees. And that is all for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so you can keep learning about nature's wonders. It was really cold out today. My lips are a little frozen, my hands are a little frozen, so I would so appreciate you leaving a like. I wanted to get that beautiful scenery. Oh my god, I almost fell. That beautiful scenery in the back. Also, as a quick aside, the organization I was just talking about, the Save the Redwoods League, published a book a few years ago for their 100th anniversary.
Their book is full of the science, history, and wonder behind these trees. and I used the book as a really big resource for this video.
If you're interested in learning more, I highly recommend checking out the book because I found it awe-inspiring. I'll put the Amazon link in the description below, and no one's telling me to say this. I just read the book and thought it was really special, so I wanted to share it with all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.